What's up guys, Wartik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and today I want to do a little retrospect on my experience of Dark Dimension 3. If you guys don't know, I have recently finished Dark Dimension 3. I did it live on stream, the last node, so if you want to check that out, the stream was quite nice. We did Dark Dimension 3 and some blitz grinding for X23. And I think it's something that I want to do more often. You guys also left in the comments that you'd like to see more of it, and it's also a good way for you guys to know me better and to ask me questions directly about the game or about the channel or something like that. So we might consider that in the future. And before we start with the video, I want to say thanks who has subscribed recently to my channel, everyone who has joined my members and joined the Discord, and also remind my viewers once again that 60, sometimes 70% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you find my content helpful, I hope you consider subscribing and help the boy out, because when you do that, it really helps. So yeah, let's go to the meat and potatoes of this video. The characters I level up to 14, gear tier 14. The T4s I used and they didn't help as much as I expected, and the characters that are a little bit overrated for Dark Dimension 3, and the characters you definitely don't need. And if you are patient and if you are well organized on the options you take, you will have more resources in the future, because right now gear tier 15 was announced for Dark Dimension 4. So we need to start saving, because these materials are very rare and we're going to need tons of them. And we still don't know if there are going to be some crazy restrictions like we had with Dark Dimension 3, or if it's going to be more similar to Dark Dimension 2, where you can take any characters. I think it's more going to be like Dark Dimension 3, but we'll see. Okay, so Symbiote Spider-Man, excellent character to take to Gear Tier 14, to take to Dark Dimension 3. You need him. It's like there are three characters that are essential for the city nodes. It's Symbiote Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage. Some people think that Carnage is more important than Venom. No, Venom is way more important than Carnage. It's like day and night comparing how easy it is with Venom on your team and how easy it is with Carnage. That defense up for 2 turns makes such a huge difference. You might have to reset a few times so you get a good RNG, so Venom gives the defense up. But what you want to aim for is to have all the 3 symbiotes. It's so easy as soon as you have the 3 symbiotes. Yeah, do you need any other characters? Ghost Rider, Vulture, Merc Lieutenant? No, you don't need any of those characters. But specifically for the symbiotes, the T4s you want to look for, these 3 are essential for Dark Dimension 3. The basic is not that great. So Magneto, I took this character because I wanted to be smarter than everyone else, and yeah. There are situations where the blind is useful and you can make combos between Magneto, Hela, and the Symbiote Spider-Man. But like the damage with this basic is decent, but it's not game breaking, and the blind is great. It's very useful in some nodes, but it's not gonna take you far. So don't do the mistake I did and don't gear up Magneto. Now Mr. Sinister. Now Mr. Sinister is a different story. Mr. Sinister, many people don't like to use Mr. Sinister on Dark Dimension 3, but this guy is huge in many nodes that you can clone. For example, Nick Fury or Phoenix or Hela. Mr. Sinister is a huge advantage. If you clone the right character, you will be able to one-shot nodes just because of that. It's incredible. So he is just huge. Now in terms of the T4s that you need for him and for Dark Dimension 3, you only need the clone ability. The other ones are okay. The extra help definitely helps, but the gene therapy and the basic, they are not necessary for Dark Dimension 3. If you want to take the least amount of characters possible for global, you are looking at Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, and Sabretooth. Those are the least amount of mats that you are going to use and get the most advantage. Sabretooth and Mr. Sinister cost the same as Colossus, But if you use Phoenix with the Sabertooth, because he has the death proof, he always lasts for 1 extra attack, and you'll be able to use Phoenix with Sabertooth, then she dies and so on. Then you spend 50 cores, and then you use Mr. Sinister with Phoenix, and that alone, just those 50 cores every day, you will go through Dark Dimension 3 so fast because of that. It's a huge difference, and you'll do the global nodes in half of the time because Phoenix does most of the damage and you don't have to waste a gear in any other characters. Now Mystique, I did Mystique for Arena. I don't really use her in Dark Dimension 3. I used her a few times just to test out, especially the ultimate. These type of abilities, they will not one-shot any characters, and I only geared up because I use her so much in Arena, but for Dark Dimension 3 definitely skip her. Now Phoenix, you need Phoenix. What else can you say? If you have more than 2 characters than the ones I recommended, you can use the basic if you think you have time to use it, and it does a lot of damage, and it's very significant, but it's the one I would at least recommend. Now Thanos, many people don't like to use Thanos, like I can't understand why. Thanos is great for Dark Dimension 2 and Dark Dimension 3. I was a noob when I started playing, but I heard the content creator saying that you need energy, so Minerva does her ultimate more often, and you can beat Dark Dimension 2 faster. Well, with Dark Dimension 3, it's exactly the same. You don't have to use the taunt, and the Thanos will still be great because he'll provide energy to Ebony Maw and Minerva. And I don't know why more people don't recommend Thanos. He's really great, and one of the reasons that Star-Lord, even that I didn't gear him up, he's also a great character, it's because of that. Because on spawn, he's instantly giving more energy to the characters. He's pretty fast, so even that is not on spawn, it's almost. And then you do the blind. The blind can save a lot, and he gives more energy. If that energy goes to Minerva and to Ebony Maw, you're gonna end those cosmic nodes really fast. So Thanos is a great character to take there. You don't have to use the taunt. You don't have to. You don't have to taunt. You don't have to use any of the abilities apart from his passive. But either way, you can use his ultimate every now and then to heal him up. Now, in terms of Carnage, he doesn't need any T-Force for Dark Dimension 3. The passive is great, but you have to remember, these characters have insane amount of health. The amount of times that you are going to benefit from the passive is not that many. It helps, and it helps a lot if you have Venom, but if you don't have Venom, like, don't rush it. He still gives 20% extra turn meter, and yeah, so whenever you decide to get Venom up and so on, sure, do the passive. The other two T4s I did, the basic and the ultimate, it helps a little bit, but honestly it doesn't make a huge difference. What makes a huge difference is to have the 3 symbiotes, especially Venom giving that defense up. Now we have Ella. You don't need exactly Ella for Dark Dimension 3, but she helps a lot because of Greg, and depending on the characters you are using as well. So if you have Star-Lord, Minerva, Ebony Maw, Thanos, and Ella, you can use Star-Lord to give blind to characters and spread it with Ella, and that's going to be one turn that you have to worry about nothing. She also has Disrupt that is very useful in many situations, so you are not stuck behind a Miss Marvel or a Colossus or something like that, because you have plenty of them there. You have to take the ultimate, and that's pretty much it. This one, the special, also helps a lot. The other ones are okay, but the basic, you can just skip it. Now Black Bolt. I took Black Bolt. He was not great. He was very average. Black Bolt is not great for Dark Dimension 3. Don't waste your mats. Save them for Symbiote, Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom, because you will need it. You need those 3 for sure. And you can definitely save that Biogear because it's so damn rare. Now I took Scientist Supreme. Scientist Supreme was okay. There are a few situations where you can use her. For example, you can use her on the free-for-all nodes with Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw gives immunity to everyone, and use Scientist Supreme ultimate that will apply negative effects to everyone else, but your team is protected because they have immunity. So if you are smart about it, Scientist Supreme is a great option, but first do Minerva, first do Star-Lord, and then think about Scientist Supreme. And like I said, you need to be very focused on what you are doing with the Scientist Supreme to make sure she's not a liability instead of an advantage. She can provide huge advantage, you just have to be very, very cautious and smart about it. Now we have Vulture. Vulture, completely useless. I mean, not really, but he did 1% or 0.1% of the city nodes. The slow helps a little bit, but not that much, and the turn rewind helps a little bit, but not that much, especially when the enemies have Merc Lieutenants giving them speed up or something like that. So he was pretty useless, and yeah, so it was a waste of gear. Hopefully he'll become more useful with Doc Ock, but we'll see in the future. Now we have Minerva. You don't need any T4s on Minerva. She's amazing. She should be the first character that you get up to gear tier 14 of the tech characters. Second, Star-Lord, once again. But she's great. Now, Ebony Maw, you need to take him. Obviously, he should be the second or the third character that you gear up for the cosmic nodes. The T4s you need, definitely the special. The basic helps a little bit in many nodes, actually, because there are so many hero controllers. And then this one, it doesn't help that much because you are only using Thanos, if you are. And yeah, it's not very helpful. But he's a great character. The slow that he applies to the enemies is just great. And the shield, the healing, and so on. The healing, it heals you to full health on Dark Dimension 2 and 3, so yeah, that's great. Now Sif. Sif was the biggest mistake of my life. She takes so many resources, not in terms of skill gear, I have plenty of skill gear, but in terms of those superior basic catalysts, it's just so many, and she can tank a little bit there, but because you cannot have a continuous defense up all the time, she's not able to tank that much. And you could do the T4 on her special and make her tank a little bit better, but once again, without the defense up and offense down on the enemies constantly, it's not gonna work, and it's not worth it. Big mistake, don't do it. I know she's skilled, I know you'll have plenty of skill gear, but it's not worth it. With gear tier 15 coming and you need all those superior basic catalysts, it's definitely not worth it. Big mistake. Now Venom, oh my god, Venom was so good. Like I said before, it's light and day using Venom and not using Venom. Big difference, and yeah, he's just amazing for the city nodes. As soon as you get this defense up going, he's just crazy. And I have seen some people doing this T4 because this extra 5% actually make a difference, not only on Dark Dimension 3 but also in Alliance Wars and so on. So even that this T4 looks a little bit stupid, I start to see why it's good and why people are doing it. But in terms of the other T4s, like, it increases damage a little bit, but in terms of utility is not that much, so I would not do any T4s on Venom. Then I did Ultron. Ultron, like, he can help in some nodes, but he's so expensive, and because he has no red stars, he's falling off the meta so fast. And I mean, he's still okay in some nodes because all the bots and so on, but it's really hard to keep the bots up, and you really need a specific team to allow him to survive in some nodes. And there are some nodes that the enemies will attack Ultron 100% of the times. I don't remember which node it is. It's the one that has 2 Iron Fists and Shuri. If you take Ultron, Daredevil will always target Ultron, and he will always die. So he is completely useless there, and it's just a waste. So focus on other characters in terms of tech gear, Minerva, Star-Lord. In terms of global characters, Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, and Sabretooth. Okay, so we reached the characters. I gear up to 14. Now there are characters that are helpful, like Shuri and Yo-Yo. They are very helpful, but they are not that much helpful, and they are so expensive that will delay you for months, and it's just not worth it. Other characters that will be useful, like I said before, is Star-Lord, and other characters that are not going to be useful at all is Ghost Rider, and I don't know, Nick Fury. I've seen some people doing Nick Fury. No, don't do it. And Punisher, not worth it. Instead of doing Nick Fury, just spend those 50 cores a day and use Sabretooth and Mr. Sinister. Those two will take you, with Phoenix, they will take you very, very long. And yeah, other characters, I don't know, it's just not worth it. I've seen some people doing Cyclops, Captain Marvel, not worth it. Merc Lieutenant, not worth it as well. Don't make these mistakes. Don't make the mistakes I did. Save your gear. Focus just on these characters that I told you. Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, Minerva, then Ebony Maw, Thanos, Hela, Star-Lord, and then Venom, Carnage, and Symbiote Spider-Man. Those are all the characters you need to do every single node, and I did my run in 110 days, around that. You don't have to take that long if you take these specific characters. You will do it probably in 80 days or something like that, and your second run, it will be even easier. Then you just have to copy these themes that other people are using it, and you'll do just fine, way faster. And yeah, so that's gonna be the video, guys. The mistakes I did with the Dark Dimension 3 retrospective, characters that are definitely not useful, and T4s that didn't help that much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. You smash that like button, like Dark Dimension 3 kicking your ass. If you like this video, make sure to press like, leave comments below if you are going through Dark Dimension 3, and if you are using any other character, and if you find it like it makes a huge difference, let us know in the comments below. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.